How y'all doing? Well, I'm getting ready to go get another motorcycle. It's a Honda VTX 1800. It's been given to me due to the unfortunate loss of a life. But the family who I did the roof for decided that they did not want to keep the bike, so they said that I could have it. So I'm hooking up this rickety old trailer and I'm getting ready to go over there and pick the bike up. So thought I'd bring you guys along with me. Let's go. Hey fam, how y'all doing? Well, I'm about to go get the bike now. I got everything loaded up, engine hoist and all, so we'll see how this goes. Trying to pick this thing up and get it on the bike. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but just met some real nice people talking about moving into the neighborhood, and he's a biker. That's all we need is another biker, but hey, you probably have more fun than you should. So. All right, I'll catch up with you guys when I get over to Chrissy's house, and look forward to hearing from you guys. Well, just look forward to showing you. I'm going to try to document this entire build and dedicate it to the guy that lost his life on this bike. It's a real sad story, but I'm still gonna. I don't know if it's going to be a trike. I don't know if it's going to be a chopper. As a matter of fact, I guess I should tell you guys what this is all about. So I was doing a house for a customer. I'm in the backyard and I see this piece of a bike. I'm like, well, you know, what's that? The guy comes out. He says, "Oh, that's Gary. I think his name was Gary. That's his VTX. He was killed on that bike." You know, and being a rider myself, when you hear something like that, it's pretty devastating to hear that. So, man, I'm real sorry. Talked about it, and long story short, the next day I go over there to do the work, or 2 days later, I'm sorry, and when I'm doing it, I'm just working around the yard. He says, "You want the bike?" He's like, "What bike?" I you can use it and put it to good use, go ahead. So, needless to say, I'm going to get the bike now. So I'll keep you guys up to speed on this whole thing. Again, and definitely want to respect the family. But they seem to be doing well. I mean, there's no way to. Loss is loss, and it hurts. So, but anyway, I'll keep y'all posted. About a 20-minute ride, and then I'll log you back in. So, hang tight. I'm at the house, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to get the truck back here and turned around and get the bike out of here. So, this is the area that I have to work with right here, and the bike sits right here. So I'm really not sure how I'm going to pull this off, but we're going to just have to figure this out as we go. Down with Chrissy here, and I'm ambushing us. Chrissy is the nice lady that is allowed me to take this from her former husband, and I'm going to theme this bike. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to theme it after this gentleman. I'll call and get some more information on Gary. What he did, Gary, yeah. What he did, what he liked, what he didn't like, what his favorite color was, and and whatever. But I just want to tell Chrissy, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of the family and to take this bike. And I don't know what it's going to look like and how soon it's going to look like it, but we'll get through it. So,
Okay.
all right.
Sounds good.
Perfect yard to grow up in.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a above ground pool. There's trailers. There's a big, look at that garage. That's a guy's garage. Basketball.
Right.
The trailer to go camping in. There's a topper. Hey, there's a trampoline. If anybody needs a trampoline, there you go. There's a motorcycle trailer there. There's another one over there, a custom one. That one's pretty cool over there. They're both cool, but that's a single, right?
Yeah. That's for my motorcycle.
That's for her motorcycle. Okay. Right. So what a great property. Look at all the mature trees. I don't know if that's a playhouse over there or not, but I sure would have made it one if I was a kid.
They used to swing from these trees. I had a zip line back here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what a great place. They're putting a school, well, the stadium or a track field, football field right there. So again, just a great place to grow up as a kid. And it seems like Chrissy and her new family and all are still a bunch of kids.
Yeah, we are.
It seems like really didn't grow up too much. So I'm gonna finish securing this thing down and get ready.
Still people that remember us coming in and look us up. Gary loved Jesus. He loved Israel. He loved telling people about Jesus. He loved living his life and running his business for the Lord. And he rode in the for the glory of God. It was his time to go. That's all I can say. He's I don't want to say a better place because I miss him, but you would not be able to pay him to come back. Yeah. Because that's where we're all headed.
That's right.
And he just got there before us.
Yeah. So he's a step ahead of us.
Yes, he is.
He's a step ahead of us, but but we got to take his departure and inspire somebody else somehow.
Absolutely.
I don't know how, but you said a minute ago before we were recording that God will show us. He'll show me, and I take no credit.
Yeah.
He'll show me, and it'll impact somebody, and we won't even know.
Yes.
And that's the most important part.
I agree with you on that.
Because everybody is searching for something, and they usually don't reach out to God until they have, God forbid, cancer or some horrible something happens, and they want you to pray for them.
Right.
Because they know that God's real, but you don't, like you said, you don't want to ram it down the throat. And if you're a chaplain for a motorcycle group, no. You better drink a beer and talk or something.
That's right, absolutely. My ministry goes on at a bar stool on a Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't drink, but
hey.
I'm with people who enjoy, and that's fine. I just want to be that light.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only light that's coming in.
Yeah, but they got tough lives. Everybody's got tough lives.
It was a good bike. It was a dream for him to drive, and easy to drive. He had a Suzuki before that. He never was one to want a Harley, but he was so happy with this bike.
Yeah.
So happy. And he came out to see me when I was camping. I set my camper up by myself one night, and he came out to see how I was doing. And on his way home, that's when someone took his life.
Yeah.
That didn't stop at a stop sign. So.
Well, anybody watching this, if you just look both ways for bikers, especially around the Florida area.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me start strapping.
All right.
What's up, fam? How y'all doing? Well, bike is here at the house. Went over to Chrissy, picked up the bike, had an incredible conversation with Chrissy, and I'm starting to get to know Gary just a little bit. Some of you might wonder, what's the big deal with Gary? This bike that you see right behind me, or what's left of it, in Chrissy's own words, was Gary's passion. And I never knew this man. He was a man of God. He was unfortunately killed in a motorcycle accident. I know no details of the accident, but I learned today a little bit about Gary and how Gary, in the prison ministry, how he was able to reach people. And this Gary would go to prisons, and he'd get out in the yard, as I understand it, and he'd say, hey, all of you thieves, go to that booth over there. All of you prostitutes or hookers, go to that booth over there. All of you drug dealers, so whatever their crime was, he had an anointing on him that allowed him to speak to people without offending them, she told me, because they knew his heart. They could feel his heart. I kind of believe that. Well, I kind of absolutely believe that, but because when I was in the backyard with Larry is Chrissy's current husband, super nice guy, and he told me about how he went to kindergarten with Gary. They went to kindergarten, so they lifelong friends. I'm guessing Larry is early 60s, you know, my age bracket. And he went to kindergarten, and he said a lot of nice things about this guy Gary. But the one thing that I want to just kind of briefly touch on is the fact that he could go to a prison and connect with people just without even knowing them, without offending them. And maybe he did offend somebody, but I think they knew that his overall objective was to help them learn about some alternatives for their lives. I don't believe he went in there preaching fire and brimstone, wearing a perfect little preacher's outfit. I think he probably went in there in some t-shirt and jeans like most bikers wear. And he said to those guys and gals, he said what he had to say, and he told them about some alternatives that even they had for everlasting life. We all wonder, whether we want to admit it or not, what happens when we die? I can't sit here and give you a detailed account of it. I can tell you about some options that you will have, that I have. You can take them or you can leave them. The build that I'm going to be working on with this bike, you see the very beginning of it. This is the original of the series. I'm going to talk about just alternatives that we all have. I'm not going to push them on you. If you don't like it, stop the YouTube, go to another channel. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean that respectfully, because I'm not trying to ram anything down anybody's throat. But I do want to incorporate some principles and some precepts that are in the Bible. You can take the Bible or you can leave it. I think it'll benefit you if you take it, but that's a decision that each one of you has to make. I can't sit here and tell you how to do it. I'm not going to harp on just one thing. We're going to talk about frames. We're going to talk about carburetors, fuel injection. We're going to talk about tires, drivetrains. We're going to talk about all that. I am an amateur that likes to build bikes. I have no idea what this bike's going to look like, but I am going to dedicate this bike to a man I never met. His name is Gary. And I'm sitting there with Chrissy, and you saw her earlier as I was picking it up. And I said, Chrissy, we got to come up with a acronym for Gary, you know. And I said, it's just something we got to come up with. So I want you to think about one thing. When you're going through some tough times or things, you know, it's tough. It's just tough. It happens to all of us. But when you're going through all that stuff, just remember one thing. You know, God always remembers you. Don't ever forget that. God always remembers you. That's Gary's name. G-A-R-Y. God always remembers you. So as I build this bike, I want you all to come along with me. I hope you get something out of it. Nothing's going to be forced on you. Hope you learn a little bit about building a bike, because I'm going to learn a lot. I'll tell you that right now, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm getting a frame. I don't know if it's going to be a bike, a trike, something of the like. But I'll tell you this much. I want to learn, and I hope that you guys can learn something too. So thanks for coming along with me so far on this journey. See what happens. See y'all.